my children are grown, but if I was in a relationship and I'm not, and there was a child, right, that I um I was acquainted with, and I knew the child didn't have parents, right, and maybe they were, orphans or whatever, right, and if I get in this relationship and this woman or whoever I'm with at that particular moment, if she wants children, but we ain't gonna have none, and I don't try to do 18 years, but I might do 8 or 9 years, then if I adopt a child, now when I adopt that child that used to not be a part of my family is now a part of my family, right? And at that point, it don't. I mean, I feel what he's been through, and I'm going to try my best to alleviate the trauma that they might have experienced, right? But when he comes in, I'm not going to hold any of that trauma against him, because now this is my child, and if things go right, he's probably going to be carrying my last name, right? And see, when we understand whose name has been put on us, all because even when we were alienated, even when we were on the outside, even when we were yet sinners, and see, when you understand that word, when he said, because I didn't break that down, the word when he says while we were yet sinners, he commendeth his love. The word commendeth in the Greek, it literally means advertise, right? It's like he took a type of love, put it on a billboard, and what he put on that billboard was a picture of the cross and said, this is what I did for you because I loved you that much and because I wanted us to have a relationship. So guess what, Lisa? Guess what, Sue Ann? Guess what, Conjure? Now I'm not just a stranger, I'm a son. And that's what he was saying to the Gentile believers who didn't have access. They thought they were on the outside. The Jews thought they had a copyright or had this thing on lock, right? So, but when Paul comes and he starts preaching to the Gentiles, and what once wasn't available now is available, he says, "You're no longer strangers, but now you're sons." Oh God! In other words, let me say, I want you to type this in the comment. Say, "I'm not a reject. I'm reconciled. I'm not a reject. I am reconciled." Why? Because I'm no longer a stranger. I am now in a relationship with God simply because we were enemies, but now we've been reconciled to God by the death of his son. And the death of his son saved our lives.